Hello fellow compatriots, and welcome to yet another Bionicle MOC review. This time we're going to be taking a look at some new functions as well as a unique design. Now this is a very simple build, but without further ado, let's get right into it, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you all
Pereki! This is a Toa metru build that I have made, following up basically to the new D&D Bionicle game that Red Star Gaming has been working on under the radar. So this is like a character that I would probably like to play as in that game. And as you can see, I made some improvements over the basic metru design. I kind of like the metru build. The metru build is one of my favorite Toa builds that a company has ever produced, in my opinion, since the gearbox is nicely concealed and it adds some like mechanical detailing inside the chest, which I do like. And another thing as well is I tried to do a lot of layering, so he has some added on armor to his already armored frame as it is. So the silver, as you can see how the way it's laid out, it replicates armor, you know, and you have the standard metru build, a leg design. Also, you notice there's something going on here. I wonder what that could be. Also some armor plating on the chest. Now I could have opted for a Borok shield for the chest, but I kind of like this design over here of a chest. I kind of like it more, kind of following in suit with Toa Likan. And as you can see in the back here, he has a backpack. Part of the backpack is due to for compensation of the gearbox mechanism as well, to add friction. As you can see, there's a hand connector over here for the actual friction in the arms, so that the arms can be posed and you can have added friction. Now, as you can notice from the look of the back, it's mostly clean for the most part, but you see this section sticking out over here. Now, there are other methods to do the shoulder arm posability for the metru build, as seen on the brick shelf. I highly suggest you check it out, but what I tried to do here is try to make arm posability while keeping these tan... What do I even know how to color anymore? These pieces over here, I wanted to keep them in there because I felt like it gave like some character to the original set, and I wanted to keep that in check. So that's why he has that. And why is the shoulder gold, you may ask? Because I don't have the pieces. And also the gold kind of follows suit kind of well with the overall look of the figure. Gives it a very western desert theme. Now, as you can see, he has a lot of weapons. So without further ado, let's go ahead and look at the accessories first before we go straight to posability. Now, let's take a look at this bad boy over here. Now, this is his bow. It actually does work like your standard bow. So all thing you had to do is just pull back and then release, and it fires. Now you're probably wondering, it doesn't really fire. Well, he has some stored arrows over here on the side of his leg so that he can go in a kneeling position and go ahead and fire these arrows. Now there isn't like, this is a tedious method since it doesn't really work too well. Now you're probably wondering, wait a minute, isn't like the string that's supposed to be flexing and not the bow itself when it fires? Not necessarily. For wooden based bows, it uses the wood in the bow to do most of the flexing. The string is primarily very stiff, you know, a very durable like nylon string that is typically used in bows. And also for the more stronger ones, it has like metal as well that gives it a lot more pressure. Now to load it, you simply pull it back, not all the way, and then you go ahead, load it up, pull it back slightly more, and then it fires. It's fired very quickly. Let's move Pereki to the side, and there you go. You saw it fired pretty quick. And he has 4 rounds that he has stored. Now, if you don't want him to hold the bow, you can go ahead and simply store it on his back. As you can see, there's a little knobby knob switch thingy over here that rotates and all that goody two-shoe stuff. Well, all thing you had to do is slide this up. Actually, it's best to have it this way so that this knob is sticking toward the back. Pull it back. These joints are a little loose because old pieces. That's why. It's old pieces. Don't judge me. I like my pieces old. Sometimes. And it just slides in because this axle over here holds it together pretty well. And you got storage right there. Now, as for, he has a claw weapon as well. Now, you can remove the claw. It's like your standard Elec weapon from the Pereki. And just stores on the side over here. There's no like proper storage for it since it's basically for permanently on his arm. And also, last but not least, you have the spear doesn't fall out, which is a good thing. It's permanently stuck into place. Now, for the arrows, it doesn't properly lock in. Now, to make him hold the spear that he has, you basically split it into two, rotate the other end, and simply attach. And then before you know it, you have a spear that he can wield. Now, you probably were thinking about the name Pereki. It sounds very similar to Peraka, and no, it isn't. It's spelled P-E-R-E-K-I, which is the Mari language for archer. Just so that you know. Now that we got all the covered, got the posability, got all the accessories done, let's go straight to posability. So, feet, they can go forward this far. They can go back this far, so he can do all the tipperoos to go tippy-toe, 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 tippy-toe. If you want him to do that, I don't know why you would want him to do that. That's very cringeworthy. And he has plenty of angle tilts as well, so you can do some pretty dynamic poses. He has a nice rocker, as you can see. Now, his legs can go straight, and they can do a full curl due to the design of the legs, which is nice. Now, only the right leg can do a full curl. Due to this attachment over here, where the ammo is loaded in, he can only bend his knee this much. Now, of course, you can remove this. You are able to, and he can bend in his knee a little bit more, making a much more nicer curl. But as long as you have this attachment on, he can't do a full curl in the left knee. Now you're probably wondering, why couldn't I just store it someplace else? If I stored it someplace else, i.e. the back, it would look too crowded, and I did not want to do that. The back is very crowded as it is by design, so I didn't want to do that. Now let's go ahead and remove this, pull it back, and forward. There we go. Woo! I did it. Alright, so the waist, it can bend forward this far, bend back this far, so it has a little bit of movement. Now, it has a secret. The waist has a secret. You want to know what it is? It can bend further than that. How? Pull up and then bend. Yeah, it has a slider. There's a built-in slider in the actual admin region itself so that you can have even more range of posability, and if you want it to lock into place, you just slide down. Now it's up, down, up, down. It's very slight, and when it's extended, it cannot fall apart. You may be thinking that it might fall apart, but it cannot. It's actually locked into place, so you don't have to worry about any of that. So he got great posability there. Now the legs, I forgot to mention the upward movement of the legs. The legs can go up all the way, and they can fall off because reasons, and they can go back all the way as well. So you got plenty of range, and he can do of course the whole Van Damme if you so want him to. Now, the arms, they have a full 360, as you can see here, and they can go up as far, so almost a T-pose. He can almost do the T-pose but he can't really. A full 360 as well. Elbows, they can bend in this far, so you got a nice curl right over there. Hands, full 360 as you expect. The head can do a full 360. It can look up only this far because the brainstem bumps into the backpack, and it can look down this far, which is a pretty good range as well. Now, I forgot to mention, he does have green eyes. He doesn't have the blue eyes because I didn't want him to look too much like Toa Metru Onua. I did not want him to look too similar to him. Now, the function is actually pretty neat. So, there's a knob over here, so only thing you had to do is twist that, and you got rotation and leg poppage, my favorite two things. Well, the leg poppage is not my favorite thing. I do not like that. Now, why did I opt for something of waist posability? Because typically Bionicle MOCs don't have waist posability, especially for the Metru build. So I wanted to give it waist posability because I want to break new grounds, you know? Don't judge me. So yeah, it's kind of hard to rotate this due to the small gear. Now you're probably wondering, why don't I use the larger gears as seen in the torso? If I did that, then there will be hardly any ability to actually store the crossbow. If I did that, then there wouldn't be a way for me to store the crossbow. So that isn't something that would be all good to see. About Pereki, he's basically, I call him Pereki Toa of the West, because, you know, he's kind of like a desert theme kind of thing. Has a spear that he stole from a Roxy of fragmentation, so he has a staff of fragmentation because he killed a Roxy, the brown Roxy, with it. Of course, it wasn't the brown Roxy in Mask of Light. No. Just a regular old Roxy that was roaming around, and yeah, he basically like finds weapons along the way and scavenges them and collects them for later use, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Anyways, now it's time for some size comparisons. Yes, that's right. So let's get right into that, shall we, ladies and gents? So, starting off with the very first one of the old Toa Pohatu. Here he is, right next to Toa Pohatu, as you can see, taller than Pohatu. Now with something a little bit more modern, here he is with Uniter of Fire, Tahu. Well, I said the name backwards, Tahu Uniter of Fire. What in the world is wrong with me? Anyways, yeah, kind of short in comparison. So you got that. Oh, and last but not least, we got Good Guy. And Good Guy. And Good Guy. Why so many good guys? Because good guys are awesome. Wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you agree? I agree. So yeah, that's about it for size comparison. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, and like always, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and be sure to comment if you have any suggestions. Anyways, that's about it for this video. So without further ado, take it away, myself.
Hello and welcome to the end of the video. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to follow me on all social media. I have Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, Facebook, and also the TTV message boards, and as of now, I also have Printerest. Yes, that's right. So all of the nice quality MOCs that I make will go in Printerest as well as the TTV message boards, the ones that are my personal favorites of all the builds that I make. All of the MOCs I do is normally good, but one of my top favorites tends to be over on the TTV message boards, Tumblr, and now Printerest. So be sure to go ahead and check out all those sites. And also, if you want to see the latest content, be sure to go onto Patreon, where videos are up a week early in advance. Anyways, that's about it for this video, so I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys!